Princeton, the Mixed Breed Prince, Book 1, Chapter 1. It's a world like many other worlds in the universe, except our world was cracked in half by the humans and their greed, selfishness, and pride, led to an all-out battle between the four most powerful nations. Many meetings were held in order to avoid war, but to no avail. The wars went on for many years, until one day a scientist, no one knew which side he was on. The only thing that was known is whatever kind of weapon it was that hit the earth that day was the one that ended all wars and all life on the planet. For 1,000 years, there was not a living thing on the earth. At least that's what we were told. Then one day, life started to return to the earth. Very strange creatures started to appear. Another 1,000 years went by and life started to evolve. For 2,000 years, all history was lost. Life was at anew. Another 1,000 years went by and the canines ruled the planet. It seemed that all life was not wiped out. In a bunker, deep, deep inside the planet, where some people went to wait out the war and to hide until the conflict was over. They were the rich and the powerful. They took their families and pets with them. They never thought those bunkers would become their tombs. Many did not survive. The humans only lasted about 100 years before all their food ran out. So they started to eat their beloved pets. But over that 100 years, some of the animals began to understand what was going on. And even though they had no language of their own, they found a way to communicate. They found places to hide and talk to each other so that they wouldn't be eaten. Some of the humans dared to leave the bunker and search for food, only to never be seen again. Eventually, the rest of the humans died off. And there were only the animals, mostly dogs and some cats, insects, and some furry animals like rabbits, squirrels, birds of various kinds, some big, some small. A spoken language started to evolve. Eventually, all but a selected few could speak this language, but that would soon change. After leaving the bunkers, 11 nations were formed. 7 canine, one was the squirrel kingdom, the feline kingdom, for which would have nothing to do with the canines. They kept to themselves. One became the wolf nation and the freeland nation, where all were welcome to come and live together as one. All of the nations had kings and queens of their own. There were peace on earth in those days. There were teachers, scholars, scientists, inventors, storekeepers, merchants, and politicians, and not to forget the law keepers. 150 years later, there was peace throughout all the kingdoms. The very first king, known as a wise and humble canine named August, declared the first canine holiday. It was called the Howling Moon Festival. Many more would come after that.